Okay, so let me go real quick and get back to the video here because I just realized I had a video. And all right, so equivalent fractions, right? Fractions of the same value that are fractions that are reducible to the same fraction. 7/14 reduces to a half, etc. I'm not going to take all the time that I talked about that with. To find equivalent fractions, multiply by a form of 1, right? That's what we were just doing. We want to multiply by a form of 1. I need my shade. Where's my shade? All right, come on. All right, so we're going to multiply by a form of 1. So if we were going to find an equivalent fraction, I'll tell you, when it begins to go crazy, it really goes crazy. So when we, if we wanted to take 3/5 and make an equivalent fraction, I chose the 7. Whatever I did to the bottom, I did the same thing at the top. And we end up with 21/35, right? And we went through that. So we're actually unreducing, and that's the key. Next thing we did was a problem like this. Hey, let's write 4/7 as an equivalent fraction with the denominator 42. You want to think this. And then, so therefore, because 7 times 6 is 42, we'll write that 6 first. Whatever we do to the bottom, do the same thing at the top. And we end up with 24. There it goes again, 24 over 42. And this is the last one we just did. Negative 3/11 with the denominator 55. What are you thinking? 11 times what is 55? Because you thought that, you'll put that 5 in first. Whatever you do to the bottom, do the same thing to the top. Negative 3 times 5, negative 15. 11 times 5, 55. All right, and then this last thing here we're getting to when I realized I had a video. 10/68. Okay. Does 34 factor, yes or no?
Yes.
Am I going to take the time to factor it? No. You can if you want, but I don't need to. Why don't I need to? Kelsey? Maybe, but I'm not so sure that's going to help anybody. Matthew?
It doesn't have 5 as one of its factors.
So what? Who cares? What are you, like, what are you, big on 5s? Or, so what? What about 5?
Because then you can't cancel out that other 5.
Okay, so here's what Matthew's at, and I was playing devil's advocate, right? Are the 2's going to cancel out right now?
Yeah.
The only thing left in the top is a what? 5. Are there any 5s in 34? So there's not going to be any more reducing, so why should I waste my time, right? Do you follow? So if you use a little thinking, so of course those 2's, hey, what did we just do? We just got rid of a common 2 over 2, right? Reducing. A minute ago we unreduced, now we're reducing, and this thing is 5/34. Okay, so remember, unreducing or equivalent fractions is a means to an end. All right, let's take a look at comparing fractions. Fractions can be compared by cross-multiplying. This is just a quick way of comparing fractions by cross-multiplying. Now, we're, in the Eastern, in America, we read left to right. So if you'll start top left, you'll always get the cross pattern correctly. So what we want to do first is the 3 times 8. And then the bottom left times the top right, the 11 times 5. All right, so let's cross multiply these. You end up with 54, correct, on the left and 55 on the right. And guess what? 54 is less than 55. So guess what? Let me go higher for you guys. So guess what? 3/11 is less than 5/18. Because the 54 was less than the 55, the left one less than the right one, then we know the 3/11 is less than 5/18. Now, if we had calculators already, and we don't, right? We're going to get them after chapter 6. We could just simply figure out the decimal equivalent with our calculators real quick. 3 divided by 11, 5 divided by 18, and we can compare the decimals. Well, we don't have calculators yet, so we got to go this method. We're going to cross multiply. All right, so let's follow that methodology on the second one. So tell me what to multiply first. What times what? Kelsey? Say it again.
7 times 9.
Okay, and a negative, actually it's negative 7 times 11. That's going to be, and I'm going to write it that way because I'm just going to be clear. And the second multiplication is the 9 times the negative 9. Right? Top left times bottom right. That's why I color-coded them for you. Bottom left times top right. You have to cross multiply. Okay? But the left one is always top left, bottom right. So now we can all hopefully understand this is a negative 77. And this one is a negative 81. Now you have to decide, is negative 77 greater than or less than negative 81? Theo? Okay, how many agree with Theo? Less than. Uh-oh. How many disagree? Is the majority always right?
Most of the time.
It is right this time. All right. Negative 77 is bigger than negative 81. Remember, the bigger the negative number, the smaller it is, right? The further left it is, right? What's smaller, negative 1 or negative 10? Negative 10. There's more negatives. All right, so be careful with that. So let's do this last one. So this is going to be a, go ahead and finish it. You guys do it at your desk while I do it on the screen. Be a thinker, not a copier. But if you need help, look up at the screen. Be a thinker, not a copier. I had to think about that one for a second. Oh, snuck in a little equal. Did you get equals?
Yes.
So by the way, if we unreduce 3/7, we get 12/28, or if we reduce 12/28, we get 3/7. Okay? All right, let's keep rolling. One more thing today. Graphing fractions on a number line. Some people struggle with this as well. Let's unstruggle, all right? So you guys do have a number line right in your notes? Okay, good. All right. So the first one, negative 3/4. Don't write it on your graph yet, but think in your mind, where would you put negative 3/4? Then I'd like somebody to come up and volunteer and put negative 3/4. Who wants to come up? Come on, Aaron. Don't worry, I got 2 more to go. Go ahead and put a dot on the number line where you think negative 3/4 is. Okay? So he put a dot right there. I'm going to reinforce it so you guys can see it more clearly here. Let me grab my red. So he put it right there. How many agree that that's negative 3/4? How many disagree? And some of you don't know, right? I know some of you don't know. All right, that is the correct answer. That is where negative 3/4 is. We got 0 here. Negatives are definitely left. Positives are definitely right. This first mark right here would be what? Say it if you know it.
Negative 1/4.
That's negative 1/4, negative 1/2, negative 3/4, negative 1. Right? You're going that way. So again, this is negative 1/4, right? This is negative 1/2, and Aaron correctly put negative 3/4 in the right place. All right, let's do the second one. Let's do the second one. Come on, Josias. Think where you would put it. Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. All right, so let me just, our orientation's just a little off on our board. He put it right there. And so how many agree with Josias that is the correct location? Okay. How many you disagree? And honestly, how many don't know? Okay. Now, Josias, I'm assuming that you took lesson 1 and you changed this in your mind to a mixed number, did you not? You just did 15/4. Did you count out 15?
I actually did, I know that, every 4 is actually 1,
So you really actually did change this to a mixed number. Isn't this -3, right? So 4 goes into 15 how many times? 3. How many's left?
3.
So isn't this -3 3/4? Is it now in the correct place? Yes, because this would have been -3 1/4, -3 2/4, and he correctly put it at -3 3/4. My advice to you is change it to a mixed number, and it should be easier to graph once you know it's a mixed number. All right, let's do the last one. Last one. Last one. Come on, Daniel. Grab the blue. Okay, so Daniel says right there. How many agree with Daniel? How many disagree? And how many don't know? Let's change it to a mixed number first. Daniel, did you change it to a mixed number in your brain?
Yes.
What did you change it to?
2 and 3/4.
Okay, so Daniel says he's going for a 2 3/4. Now, if it is 2 3/4, did he graph it correctly?
Yes.
Yes, if it is 2 3/4. Let's see if it is. 20 goes into 55 how many times?
2.
2. And how many are left?
15.
And when you reduce 15 out of 20, what do you get?
2 and 3/4.
2 3/4. He is correct. Right? It just so happens I did all of them with 3/4. It could have been a quarter. They could have been halves. Don't let stuff like that mess you up. Change them to a mixed number. Then you should be okay in graphing. Hold on. We're not done. I have space. I can add problems. Let's do E. E. No, how about D? D. Let's do D first before we do E.
It's okay, it's math, not English.
There you go. I agree. Okay, let me see. Let's do this one. Go ahead and graph that. Everybody, go ahead. If you need to fix it, you'll fix it. Un momento. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go ahead, stick it up there, Brett. That's right. I'll fix it. Put the pen back. Every little thing you touch. All right. I think that's where you had it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how many agree with that placement? Because hopefully you said this is -4 1/2, correct? And surely that is -4 1/2. Let me clean it up a little here. Right? I can't get it erased there. Beautiful. Doable? How many got that one correct? Let me see your hands. Okay. All right. One more. Last one. Last one.
Can I do this?
5 3/8. 5 3/8. 5 3/8. 5 3/8. Aaron's already been up here, and Singe, you got your hand up. Come on up, Mason. 5 3/8. Okay, thank you, sir. Yep. Good. Have a seat. He put it right there. How many agree? 5 3/8. How many disagree? Only 2? 3? That's it? So majority, right? Wrong. That's wrong. All right, good try though.
Oh,
A for effort. Shh, quiet please. Who else wants to give it a try? Come on, Alex.
I got this one, but I know that one's the correct answer. I mean,
Well, no, those. Okay, hold on. One. I put it like right here.
Okay, I see where I see where you put it. So let me do it for you. It's easier on here than on the screen. So he put it right there, right? I think Alex, you said is where you put it. How many agree with Alex? You should all be agreeing on that one. This is indeed 5 3/8. Look, if the marks are a quarter, everybody pay attention. If the marks are a quarter, then half of a quarter is an eighth. 2 quarters is a fourth. Then between these two is 3/8, 4/8. Between these 5/8, 6/8.
that makes sense.
Everybody's packing up and leaving me, Ariana. All right, you got your homework assignment, and you are dismissed to lunch.